Hey guys and dolls, welcome back to the Reality Recap, the News 24 live podcast that takes a shady look back at what went down on some of your favorite reality shows. My name is Selisho, News 24 live deputy editor and your viewing companion for the year. So for the past few weeks, we have been recapping everything that goes down on Mzansi Magic's Married at First Sight Mzansi. We had our first interview with one of the couples, and this week we are joined by another one of the couples as the show prepares to wrap up and we find out what decisions everybody made. So this week we'll be speaking to Sebenzile and Boitshepo, who are known as fan favorites on the show, and they will be speaking to us about their experience on the show, how life has changed on social media, and what they plan to do with their newfound platform. Sebe and Boitshepo, how are you guys doing?
I'm good. It's absolutely cold where I'm at, but you're right. I'm absolutely good. Thank you for welcoming us to the show.
Hi, Kay. I am all right. Thank you for asking. How are you?
We're doing quite all right. It's been a little bit of a difficult start to get on this podcast with you guys, but I appreciate your understanding and your patience and actually your time. So with that said, I'm just going to get into my first question for both of you, which is, besides looking for a partner, what was the main reason you turned to a show like this to go on this journey?
Really, I feel like I had exhausted all my options. Some of my friends feel like I'm lying about that because I've never been like on internet dating or internet sites, dating sites. But I'm more of an in-person, get to know person, like in-person type of person. That's why I never tried the route. I've never tried the route of internet dating. I had been to dates before. I had been in long-term relationships, and it just wasn't working out. I'm a lover of love. I think you've seen on the show, a whole lover girl, and I was just like, I'm ready to be someone's wife, man. Let's give it a shot. I didn't know about the show, but here we are today.
And you, Sebenzile?
I think the idea of the show, I loved it because it starts with a commitment. The minute you know that somebody is committed to you or somebody is committed to the process, I think that gives you a bit of a peace of mind. Which, you know what, let me just give it my all and then see what to get because the commitment is something that we are not sure of. We go into relationships and we are not sure this person is committed to me or not. But this show introduces that. First go, you know that you are committed to that person because you are obligated, because the show is an experiment and you need to stick it out and then see where it goes. But yeah, the idea of the show, I fell in love with it.
All right. Did the thought of how your family and friends might react affect your decision?
How my family or friends would react affect my decision? Absolutely not. I'm uh, I'm a person that makes my own decision. I believe that I'm level-headed. I make decisions that are in my best interest at all times. It's obviously taken me time to put myself first in everything, but at the at the time when I joined the show, I was going through a journey of prioritizing myself and putting myself first. So external noises or opinions or inputs weren't anything that I was like concerned or worried about. I mean, why would you be worried about people having an opinion on you taking an unconventional route or way of finding a partner when the conventional ways didn't even work out and they still had an opinion about past and previous relationships? So it wasn't something that I was worried about at all.
All right. And what is the main thing, sorry to cut you, Sebe, that you guys learned about yourself while being on the show? So you, Boitshepo, first, and then Sebe can follow. Just to answer about what the main thing is you guys learned about yourself from this experience.
One of the main things that I learned about myself and I found very surprising was that I am able to be submissive. I am able to rest in my femininity. I've always people. I mean, I think I do fall under the alpha female category, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're not able to submit. It's just dependent on the environment of the relationship. If your partner is creating that space for you, if your partner is leading, if your partner is protective or protecting you, providing, I guess is just because in my previous relationships, I've never had that kind of environment set forth for me. Hence, I've never really thought that I'm a submissive person. So I was really surprised to see that I'm able to just be down to earth, submit, and mainly even to a complete stranger, not even someone that I actually had like started a talking stage with, slightly gotten to know, and then eventually got into a relationship. Straight into the relationship aspect, I was already submissive. So yeah, that's one thing that I learned about myself.
And you, Sebe?
And then just to answer the first question, also now I didn't really think about how my family is going to react or how my friends are going to react. I've always been somebody that makes their own decisions. And it's either you agree with my decision and I learn from my mistake if it's a mistake or not. But I didn't really think about my family or friends, which was on TV with my decision. And then this one, the second question, I learned patience. I never really thought I'm a very patient person, but I learned which I'm actually very patient because in this situation, in this experiment, you need to be patient with yourself and also with your partner. About izinto angeke ziyenzeke as quickly as you think they might. They might take time. You need to be patient about that. Your partner might not be able to open up about issues that are quite very close to heart. So you need to be patient about that. You need to be patient with yourself and with your partner.
For my next question, it would be, what is one main thing that you learned about each other? So maybe an impression that you had upon your first meeting in the beginning of the experience, and then something you had learned for sure by the end of, I think it's 13 episodes, hey? Yeah, so 13 episodes. What's the one thing you learned about each other throughout this experience?
I'd say one thing that I learned about Sebenzile is that gathering from the time that I was with him, he may not have really experienced being open about his plans, his goals, his ambitions to people or to maybe even romantic partners. And for me, I'm a person that is a planner and I want to be on the same page with you. I want to know if, say, for example, from the top of my head, I'd like to make an international trip by the end of the year. I'm obviously going to communicate this with you so that you understand why maybe I will not be able to, or maybe I'm not able to pull my weight from a certain financial aspect in the relationship, or however I need to show up and not able to do that because I'm saving towards something. So for Sebenzile, what I had noticed was that he prefers to do things in his little corner by himself until he's attained, or has completed whatever it is he's working towards. And for me, that at the beginning was very frustrating because now I don't understand why you're not doing this, or we're not able to go there, or we're not, we have certain hindrances, whereas he's actually working towards something. So that was one thing that I had learned about him.
Right. So what I learned about Boitshepo during my time with her on the show is she plans. She plans everything and she writes down like your vision board thingy. She writes down what she wants in a few months' time, in a year's time. Everything is thought out. She plans everything. And also, into is she will say what she thinks. Yes, she thinks about it and she writes it down so that so that you hear what she needs and intentionally behind whatever she's saying. So yeah, two things. She plans everything. She writes it down so that she doesn't forget it and she speaks her mind. That's what I learned about her during my time with her on the show.
A manifester of noted sounding like. All right. My next question would be, would you do it again?
I received this question so many times. I definitely would do it again in another lifetime. And I always say on the basis that I'm paired with the same person. A unique experience. You don't get to do it for the second time ever again. On the basis that I'm paired with the same person, just reboot my memory and let's do it again.
But yeah, I've said it many times, man. I would do it again with the same person. And yeah, man, I would do it again. Like we said, Rashido, there's no second time for this. You are in it first time, and if you get it right, you get it right. If you get it wrong, unfortunately, that's your experience. But I would do it again with the same person. Imagine, sebangithela nomunye umuntu Nkosi yami. Ngabe kudala ngahamba, but I'll do it again with the same person.
That's reflecting well on the experts, I guess, that were put together to pair you according to how they found how they heard your or interpreted your wish list in a partner. But I'm going to start my next question for you, Sebenzile. What is the most shocking part of the experience, and what was the most fun part of the experience for you?
The most shocking part, it's cameras on your face 24/7. That's the most shocking part. Like, I didn't think that far when I entered the show, which has in camera every part, every second. Like, they want to see what you're going to. Yes, we are not shown a lot on the show. That is the production's thinking or how they want it to come across. But the cameras were on your face 24/7. That was the most shocking part. And what's the second part?
The most fun part. The most fun part.
The most fun part was learning about a totally complete stranger, being close to that person and allowing myself to open up Guye, and she is opening up to me. That was the most fun part. I've never experienced that in my life before. And also at the pace they young. So it was Beitusa, but also it was fun because Nakona we are on the same length, in wavelength, so it's fun, man. It was nice. It was a beautiful experience in that way. Yeah.
And for you, Boitshepo?
I think for me the most shocking thing was the pace that everything moved at. Between the day I signed up to the day of my wedding was less than 7 days. Between the day of my wedding and the day cameras went down, it was like 6 weeks. And in the 6 weeks, so much happened. Got to know a whole new human being as my partner. I got to learn so much about myself, got to learn so much about him. I think for me it was so shocking to learn that it doesn't take 6 years to get to know a person and make a decision. It can literally happen in 6 weeks. So as a person that comes from long-term relationships, that was like a wow factor for me. The most fun thing, I think people see us as very serious people on the show, but you would be shocked at how fun and funny we are when we are with each other. So I think that is one of the fun things for me, when it's just the two of us. After like cameras are down and we just do some reflection, joke around about everything, having to get to know each other and spending that time with one another, and getting to see Sebenzile in a calmer, cooler, fun space. Yeah.
All right. And how has your social media presence changed since the show?
Yo, it's been a lot. I woke up one day and I was from 1,000 followers to 10K followers, and I was just like, okay, that is a lot. But for me, I'm really shocked at how, I'm really, really surprised at how warm the country has received us, has received me. The amount of women that come into my inboxes. There's so many amazing women in South Africa, guys. Wow. The people that have reached out in my inboxes, it's been a very It's been quite different. I don't think I had anticipated how warmly we would have been received by the country, to be very honest. I was very nervous about the show airing, and if anything, I kept saying, yo, lefatshe bule ga ke tsene, ekare I can just disappear until this whole thing is done, or just relocate to a country where nobody knows me. But it's been so warm. Like, even when I'm in the streets, it's a Boitshepo from Married at First Sight, and the girlies just reach out, like, can we go grab lunch? Can we go grab dinner? Where are you? How are you doing? Oh my goodness, we haven't seen you on the stories in a while. We haven't seen you post. Are you okay? It's like there's a sisterhood that's just developed out of nowhere, and it makes me feel so warm. Like, on days where, for example, the day when we had the couples retreat in Hartebees, I really wasn't feeling like myself that day. And I was so surprised to actually notice that so many people noticed, whereas I thought I really masked it really well. But so many people, so many ladies reached out, like, were you okay? You really didn't seem like you were in your element. Don't let, like, differences of people and other couples get to you, those kind of things. So it's been really affirming. Obviously, there'll be that sour apple every now and then, that rotten apple here and there, but the good outweighs the bad with my social media the presence, the warmth that I've received on social media, to be very honest.
All right. Before we open the floor for Sebenzile, I just want to say, from a viewer perspective, you did come across as the most warm, the most personable of the ladies in the group. And that's definitely not to say that nobody else seemed that way, but just like the way you were portrayed on camera, you gave the vibe of the girl that I trust. Like, if I found out that my man was cheating on me, I feel like I could call you and you'd have my back. But also, you seem like that friend that would uplift someone and say, yes, this didn't work out and I know you're heartbroken, but as your friend, I'm here for you. So you gave those kind of vibes. So I think that's probably what your fan base is getting from you.
I think they're just reciprocating who I truly am. I'm a girl's girl. Like, you're gonna call me and tell me your man cheated, my babe. What do you want to do? It's wild. Jail is not an option, but tell me what the action plan is. I've got your back. So yeah.
All right. And for you, Sebenzile, how has your online presence changed? How are people in your comments? Do you even have social media? You know, some people do kind of choose to just go into hiding after something like this.
Yeah, I've never really been someone that is active on social media. I've never really been that person. I think I only had a Facebook pen. That's it. Facebook, that's it. And now you've been I that much. But then I was like, you know what? Let me just get into socials, just now for my brand. And it has blown up, honestly. It has blown up my Instagram, my TikTok. It has blown up. People are DMing me like, I don't know you. Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But my mom always told me, whatever you do, abantu bayawuhlala bakhuluma. Whether it's you're doing good, bayakhuluma, whether you're doing bad, bayakhuluma, whether uphilile nje awenze next bayakhuluma. So don't really unake kakhulu ukuthi bathini abantu ku-social media. Just appreciate. But nakhona just focus on whatever's being said on social media. But like Boitshepo said, the good outweighs the bad. For the comments that we have been receiving, and yeah, man, comments about myself now corner has been good. The good outweighs the bad. So I'm really grateful to Abantu. But now corner, I wasn't acting. I was just being myself. I'm a quiet person. I'm a quiet person. I analyze a lot. Just to and see what's alive. And people that truly know me, that are close to me, buyers between inclusion, I'm for you. My circle is very small. I'm for you. If I say, I'm with you, we are there together. I'm that person. So yeah, man, if my personality is showing through the screen, that is wonderful.
My final question is, where to from here? Are you leaning into your newfound fame and building your platform, or are you going to try as best as you can to return to normal life, or some idea of normal life given the way the show has blown up?
The girlies are asking for a YouTube channel. The girlies are asking for plugs. Yeah, I swear to God, I get like more than 10 messages a week. Dude, we need a YouTube channel. We need to see you more. I'm contemplating giving the people what they want. Obviously, still working on a niche and an angle. I don't want to do it just for the purpose of people are asking for it and then just lose myself and momentum through it. So I don't just want to dive head first into it. I want to go in with a plan. Like Sebenzile said, I plan to the T. But I'm still dealing with imposter syndrome, to be very honest. I guess I am my own biggest critique. But outside of that, I don't want to lose the normal life aspect of what I have right now. And when I say normal life for me right now with where we are, I feel like that's just the little bit of safeness that I still have. People tend to forget that at the end of the day, we also are humans. These are our lives that were put in front of the whole country. And even if maybe you didn't like me from the show, or didn't like something that I said, for you to want to act out and burst out on it when you see me in public just makes me feel unsafe. So those are the kind of things that I'm still looking into. Like, do I really want people to still have that kind of access to me post the show? If so, then how am I going to go about it just to still have that little piece of privacy to myself? So I'm still leaning on the fence, deciding how we're going to go about it. But maybe it will depend on a poll. If I do a poll, if the masses win, then I'll give the people what they want.
If I'm not saying this logo, like this show has given me a platform in terms of finding myself, finding myself, but also I've always wanted to start a brand. And I think after the show, I'm just going to focus on that in terms of your brand, like your sports brand, and then see how far I can go with that. And also, I'm a writer, so my book is upcoming. So I'm looking forward to that. That's something I'm excited about. And also everything else, it will fall into place. It will fall into place. So one is doing that, but those two I'm focusing on, and other things. But yeah, just watch the space and the one who's doing.
Okay, thank you. That's it for the reality recap. Speaking to Boitshepo Sebenzile and Sebenzile Ngwenya, thank you guys so much for your time, and looking forward to finding out what happens on the show when we find out what decisions you guys made.
Thank you for having us, Kay.
Thank you for having us. Yabo.